All right, let's set a scene for you. Picture this. You're in a really high-stakes B2B sales meeting. Big deal, maybe $250,000 potential. And then suddenly, the prospect just drops your biggest competitor's name.
Oh yeah, that moment.
Exactly. They lean in, so why shouldn't we just go with them? And your rep, well, they hesitate, they fumble a bit.
You can just feel the air go out of the room.
Totally. The momentum shifts, you can see it happen, and that crucial deal, it just stalls. That's the kind of intense, real-world pressure sales teams face every single day, isn't it?
Absolutely. It happens all the time.
So today's deep dive, it's really all about giving you a shortcut, a way to master those competitive challenges. We're digging into this brand new guide, really comprehensive stuff, called How to Evaluate Competitive Intelligence Platforms for Sales Teams. It just came out, like July 29th, 2025. Hot off the presses. And the brain behind this guide is Paul Towers. He's the founder and CEO of Playwise HQ.
Yeah, Paul's background is pretty interesting here. He's been a sales leader for over 15 years, seen it all, really, in enterprise tech startups. He's been on the front lines of those competitive battles himself, looking for that edge. And his company, Playwise HQ, it's built specifically for this problem. It's a competitive intelligence platform, but it's designed explicitly to, empower B2B sales teams. Their whole mission, the way Paul puts it, is to take those old static battle cards, where maybe a PDF somewhere.
Right, buried in a folder.
Exactly, and turn them into dynamic, genuinely deal-ready tools. The idea is simple. Give reps instant access to the competitor insights they need, the right objection handling tactics, real-world intel, basically eliminate the guesswork so sales teams can actually outmaneuver the competition when it counts.
And what that really says to me, for you listening, is this isn't just theory, right? It's grounded in actual real-world selling. So for our deep dive today, we're going to unpack this guide, go through it kind of chapter by chapter, pull out the most important bits of knowledge, the key insights. We want to help you understand not just what to look for in a CI platform, but really why it matters. So you can empower your teams and, well, win more deals. That opening scenario we talked about, it really sets the stage for what the guide calls today's B2B sales reality. Because, let's face it, every deal feels like a chess match now.
Totally. High stakes.
Sales teams are constantly in these complex, competitive situations. Multiple vendors, super detailed comparisons, buyers who are more sophisticated than ever. They expect your team to explain your differentiation like right there on the spot. So what does all this mean for the average sales team just trying to get a win?
Well, it means the core challenge, often, is this fundamental disconnect. See, most CI competitive intelligence platforms, they were actually built by analysts, for analysts. They're great for deep dives, big strategic analysis back at HQ, which is fine. But, and this is the crucial part, that often completely misses what a sales rep needs in a live call. In that high-pressure moment with a prospect, Paul Towers makes this point really powerfully in the guide. He says, if a sales rep can't get what they need in under 30 seconds, the battle card isn't serving its purpose.
Wow, 30 seconds. That's not a lot of time.
Not at all. Think about it. 30 seconds to find the answer, pivot the conversation, maybe save the deal. Any longer, and like you said, the momentum's gone.
Yeah.
The prospects moved on. And a lot of CI platforms, they fail reps because the content's all over the place.
Yeah.
Scattered in folders, old PDFs, maybe Slack channels.
Yeah, the digital scavenger hunt.
Exactly. The intel just isn't there when they need it, like when that competitor name gets dropped. And honestly, these tools often feel like more work, right? Another login, another system, not helpful. What reps actually need is fast insights under 30 seconds, proven objection responses they can trust, and really clear positioning guidance so they can nail their value prop right away.
You really hit it there. If it's not quick and easy, it just won't get used. Which is exactly why the guide hammers home adoption as like the #1 evaluation point for any CI platform. So what does that really mean? What makes a platform actually stick with the sales team?
It's basically non-negotiable because, as the guide points out, the most expensive CI platform in the world delivers no value if it sits unused. It's just wasted money. So a CI platform absolutely has to offer easy access right within the sales workflows reps already use.
Seamless integration.
Totally seamless. It needs to show an immediate, measurable impact on deals so reps see the value quickly. And it has to integrate with their daily tools, CRM, email, whatever they live in. You can have the best data imaginable, but if your reps can't find it or they don't trust it or it takes too long to use, it's useless. That user interface, the UI, it needs to be intuitive, effortless, really, so the rep can grab that info and use it right when it counts. In the moment.
That idea of effortless application, that's huge. And talking about adoption leads right into trust because trust is so fragile in sales, isn't it? The guide has a whole section, Can Your Platform Build Trust? How fragile is that trust when we're talking CI?
Oh, incredibly fragile. It takes time to build, but you can lose it like that.
Snaps fingers?
Exactly. The guide says even one piece of outdated info, one wrong statistic, that can shatter a rep's confidence in the entire system. If they get burned once or twice with bad intel, they just stop using the platform, period.
And then what happens? They go back to the...
They revert back to asking colleagues, hey, what do you know about competitor X? Or they're Googling frantically, finding who knows what outdated stuff online, or just relying on memory, none of which is ideal. That's why the accuracy and freshness of the content is absolutely critical, non-negotiable.
Okay, so given it's that fragile, how can a platform actually build and, more importantly, maintain that trust? What does good content management look like in this context?
The guide breaks it down into 4 key things. First, obviously, up-to-date content. Modern platforms really need to use AI tools here to help keep things current without a massive manual effort. Second, you've got to leverage sales team insights. Actually capture the intel coming straight from the field, from those prospect conversations. That stuff is gold.
The ground truth.
The ground truth. Third, usage-based review triggers. The platform should flag content that isn't getting used so you know maybe it's stale or irrelevant and needs a refresh. And finally, simple feedback mechanisms. Make it super easy for reps to flag something that looks off or suggest an update. It needs to feel like a living, breathing system they contribute to.
And that idea of contribution leads perfectly into the next bit, what the guide calls the sales intelligence contribution loop. This is where, for me, it gets really interesting, because we usually think of reps as just consumers of intel, right? But what if they're also incredibly valuable intel generators?
It's such a good question. Why aren't we tapping into that frontline intelligence more effectively? I mean, salespeople talk to prospects every single day. They hear things, direct feedback, competitive nuggets that you'll never find doing web research or reading analyst reports. I remember this one deal, we were kind of stuck on a competitor's weak spot. And a rep shared this quote from a prospect about their nightmare implementation experience with that competitor. Boom, that one insight changed everything. The guide mentions a similar story. We've won significant deals because one rep shared insight about a competitor's implementation challenge. That kind of field intelligence doesn't come from web research. It's invaluable.
So the platform needs to make it easy for them to share that stuff back.
Absolutely. It should let reps easily share customer intelligence like quotes, concerns, reactions they hear. They should be able to report competitive encounters, log what happened, who they faced, the outcome, and, maybe most importantly, share effective responses. If a rep nails a response to an objection, let them share that winning message so the whole team benefits. This creates what the guide shows visually as the intelligence feedback loop. Field insights feed into content updates, which leads to better outcomes for reps, which generates more customer feedback, and the loop continues. It makes the whole team smarter with every single interaction.
That feedback loop sounds amazing, honestly. Revolutionary almost. But okay, let's be practical. Implementing something like that, getting reps to actually do it, sounds like it could add complexity. How does the guide address managing that? Especially thinking about team capacity. Which brings us to evaluation criteria for platform complexity versus team capacity.
You're right, it's a really valid concern. It's not just about features. It's about fitting the platform to your team's reality, your resources. So this capacity evaluation piece looks at a few things. First, team structure. Do you have dedicated CI people? Or is this falling on your already swamped sales enablement team? That makes a huge difference in how much admin you can handle.
Right.
Second, budget. Not just the sticker price of the platform, but the people, time needed for implementation, ongoing updates, driving adoption. That's a real cost. Third, implementation timeline. How fast do you need to see results? Some of these big, complex platforms can take months, literally months, before they're fully operational and reps are seeing value.
Months. Wow.
Yeah. And finally, change management. How good is your company really at adopting new tools? Be honest with yourself. A complex platform needs a much stronger change management push.
The guide includes a really practical platform fit guide and a comparison overview, too. It breaks down how different platforms might suit different team sizes. And it specifically calls out how Paul Tower's platform, Playwise HQ, was, and I'm quoting here, built specifically for this scenario, meaning those growing teams, maybe 50 to 200 reps. It highlights things like low admin overhead and implementation hours, which sounds well, pretty different from something like Clue, maybe for mid to large companies taking 2-3 months, or
Hmm.
Crayon for large enterprises needing 3-6 months. So it's not just features, is it? It's matching the platform's complexity to your team's capacity to actually use it.
Precisely. That's
Yeah.
the core idea. And Paul Towers has this killer quote in the guide. Many companies select the CI platform they think they should have, not the one they can actually implement successfully.
Hmm. That hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It speaks right back to that capacity point. If a platform is too complex for your team to manage and adopt, it doesn't matter how many cool features it has, it'll just gather dust, become expensive shelfware. Okay, that's a perfect lead into a super important section. Common CI platform selection mistakes. Let's talk pitfalls. What are the common traps people fall into when choosing a CI platform?
Yeah, the guide lays out 4 big ones, and crucially, how to avoid them. So, mistake 1, the feature maximization approach. Basically, choosing the platform with the longest feature list, thinking more is always better.
The shiny object syndrome.
Exactly. But the reality is, more features often means more complexity, a steeper learning curve, and ultimately lower adoption. Reps get overwhelmed. The solution: focus on the features your team will actually use every day. Ask, will this genuinely help my reps win deals, or is it just noise? Okay, mistake 2, the analyst-first selection process. This is when the decision is made by, say, the product marketing team or dedicated analysts, without real input from the sales reps who will be using it daily. The problem is the people choosing might value deep data analysis, while the reps just need a quick answer mid-call. Their needs are different.
They're not in the trenches.
Right. So the solution is simple but crucial. Include quota-carrying reps in the evaluation. Get their hands on the tools. Their feedback is gold for predicting real-world adoption. Then there's mistake 3, the set-and-forget approach, treating CI implementation like a one-off project. You launch it, dust off your hands, and move on. I've seen this happen so often. But the competitive landscape changes constantly. New features, new pricing, new messaging. If your content gets stale, trust evaporates.
Back to that trust issue.
Always back to trust. The solution: build ongoing content maintenance into your process from day one. Assign ownership, schedule reviews, make it part of the routine, leveraging that feedback loop we talked about. And finally, mistake 4, the perfection delay. This is waiting and waiting to launch until every battle card is absolutely perfect, every piece of data verified 10 times. The reality check here is harsh but true. Perfect becomes the enemy of good, and delayed value is denied value. While you're striving for perfection, your reps are losing deals now.
Ouch. True, though.
So the solution is, launch with your core, most critical content. Get something valuable in your reps' hands quickly. Then iterate. Use the usage data, get feedback, and continuously improve. Don't wait for perfect.
Those are such practical, grounded mistakes and solutions. I can definitely see teams falling into those traps. But the guide doesn't just point out problems, it offers solutions, like the Implementation Success Framework, a 90-day plan. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's designed to get you seeing value fast, not months down the line. It breaks the first 90 days into 3 phases. Day 1 is foundation building. That's about getting your core content migrated, setting up essential integrations, like with your CRM, and training some initial power users, your internal champions. Then by day 30, adoption expansion, you roll it out to the broader team with focused training. You start monitoring usage, who's using it, who isn't, why, and you refine content based on that early feedback.
Getting it embedded.
Exactly. And finally, by day 60, performance optimization. Now you start looking at advanced features, doing deeper dives into the analytics, and crucially, starting to measure the ROI. How is this actually impacting win rates, deal velocity?
That structure makes a lot of sense. Build, expand, optimize, and it all leads up to the big moment.
Right.
Making your decision, CI platform selection.
Right. And the guide is clear. The perfect platform doesn't exist. Forget perfect. But the right platform for your team, your situation, your capacity, that absolutely does exist. It recommends a really structured evaluation process. Week 1, define your success metrics, your must-haves. Get your stakeholders aligned. Weeks 2-3, assess vendors, get trials, really test those key integrations and use cases. Then weeks 4-6, this is critical. Deploy the trials with actual reps. Let them live in it for a bit. Get their honest feedback. Then make your final call based on that real-world data and observed impact.
And I love how the guide reframes the decision with these critical decision questions. It pushes you beyond just the feature list. Instead of who has the most features, you should ask,
You should be asking, which platform will our reps actually use consistently? That adoption piece again. Which platform genuinely fits our current team structure and resources? Be realistic. Also, which platform gives us the clearest path to measurable ROI? and this is important, which vendor seems truly committed to our success, not just closing this deal. That partnership matters.
It really shifts the focus, doesn't it?
It does, because, as the guide powerfully concludes this section, the best CI platform is the one that makes your reps more confident, better prepared, and more successful in competitive situations. It's all about empowering the team on the front lines in those make-or-break 30-second moments.
And that really wraps up the core message here. Look, the competitive landscape, it isn't getting any simpler. Your prospects, they're not getting less savvy. Your market isn't getting less crowded. Having the right competitive intelligence isn't just a nice-to-have tool anymore. It's a strategic imperative. It's about changing how your team fundamentally operates when the pressure's on.
Absolutely. And Paul Tower's final thought in the guide really resonates here. He says, we didn't build another CI platform. We built the CI platform we wished we'd had when we were carrying quota and facing tough competitive situations every day. That really underlines the Playwise HQ philosophy, built by salespeople for salespeople, focused on getting you up and running fast, keeping info current with AI, and driving that crucial sales adoption, turning those tough moments into wins.
So here's something to think about as you go about your day. Consider your own 30-second rule. When you need critical info right now in your workflow, how quickly can you really get it? And maybe more importantly, what opportunities are you missing? What deals are stalling because you're not turning every single competitive encounter into a learning moment, into valuable intel for your entire team? Something to chew on.